Hi everyone! I know it's been a really long time since you guys have seen this setup because it's been a really long time since I've been back. But now I'm finally back for my first year of art school and let's just chat about life, shall we? Before we start, if you don't know, hello, my name is Veda, aka Saku or sakuraopal here on the internet, and I have been documenting my art journey for the past few years here on YouTube. And now I just finished my first year studying character animation at CalArts. Yay! Oh yes, it really is yay because dang, art school has truly been a journey, and I know a lot of you guys may be curious how art school has been. So in this video, I will be sharing my experiences and my journey so far and what I've learned basically in my first year. And hopefully this video is useful, helpful, or informative in any way, no matter if you're going to art school or not in the future. Yay, so let's get started! By the way, this is my penguin and she will be here with me because she has been with me in college. She has seen my worst moments and my best, so yeah, if I were to describe my first year in 3 words, it would be growth, culture, and bittersweet. Yeah, I know, those are really random words to choose, but hear me out. So, growth. I feel like the talk about being in high school and then transitioning to college isn't really talked about that often, and because of that I had like 0 expectations going into art school, which I kind of think is a good thing, but dang, going into art school really changed my life. It really did. Well, it literally did. But prior to studying in CalArts, I basically lived in the same environment my entire life. I grew up in my home city, and that's just how I functioned. Like the cultural norms, the people, and just everyone was the same my whole life. So suddenly going from that to being alone in a new country alone. Did I just say alone twice? I mean, being alone in a new country that is very far from home is scary and daunting, and I don't think I was mentally prepared or processed that it was happening. So I feel like the acceptance that change is happening was one of the first and most important things I've learned in this year. And it's also just me growing up, right? Growth, like from being a 17 to 18-year-old and literally becoming an adult. And I refused to believe the fact that I was an adult because I've always grown up treated like a child. I don't know if it's just like more of an Asian culture thing, but also I've been the youngest in basically everything. I'm the youngest sibling, and I'm always the youngest in my friend group, and now even going to college, I think I'm the second youngest in the year. So it just never occurred to me that I had to be the old one. And now being in a new country alone, I had to be grown up and take care of myself. Like, I know it sounds so weird to say, but I've grown up so privileged, like being with my family all the time, and just literally now that I think about it, in high school my biggest problems was like stressing about all the schoolwork, which is valid. Like we had a lot of schoolwork, but that was my whole life back in high school. It was just literally school, art portfolio, and YouTube. So now going into college, I had to take care about everything else, like not just school, but like also myself, learn how to handle myself. Like no one's gonna yell at me if I do something wrong, so I have to figure out everything right. And I think that part was really scary to me, but I think growing up is not a bad thing. Like being an adult isn't bad. I just couldn't accept it, and I just couldn't accept change, and I struggled with this problem like growing up. I get it, because the pun is growth. But I've struggled with this growing up, is that I hated to embrace change, and now I think I'm better at it, and I think it's really good to embrace changes in your life. And because if there are changes, that's how you actually grow as a person, like not just staying in your comfort zone. And I think that's one of the reasons why I chose growth. And the second reason why I chose growth is because, dang, my art journey has grown a lot too. I said this in my previous video, which you can watch later, but is basically how I made my first year colors film. But as I said in that video, I've learned so many new techniques and stuff that I never thought about in animation or just drawing in general prior to coming to CalArts. And the environment, I can't deny it is very competitive, and it really sometimes puts you in the imposter syndrome that every artist has, no matter you like it or not. And I think that's how you can use the environment that is like that to your advantage, is treat it as something inspiring. Like, you don't have to be someone else to be good. You can be good in your own way and appreciate other people's growth and just grow together. Like, it's not always about the grind, it's about growing together. Those are wise words by Veda, sakuraopal. I was just kidding, but I truly mean that, because at the beginning I would kind of go like, oh, why did I get accepted into this school? Like, everyone else is so much better than me. Oh my god, like, I have so much to work on. Like, there's so many things I didn't know before. Like, honestly, this environment just pushes me to work harder and learn things that I've never seen or heard of before, and I think that is good. It's just how you deal with it. Like, don't hate yourself for not knowing. Like, be more positive about it, you know? I feel like there's also a lot of negativity going on, especially in artists and animators, that we need to work on. Like, self-deprecation humor is not it, guys. Like, say that you're slaying, that you are a queen and you are cooking up new artwork, instead of going like, oh, I suck. I suck all the time. Like, no, it's not funny. I know, because I am the queen of comedy and I'm very hilarious, so you should listen to me on what's funny. I know a lot of you guys may be a bit curious about the curriculum at CalArts, so I'll talk about it a little bit. In first year, it's mainly foundations, and obviously people who get in need to have a certain technical ability drawing wise already, so they're really focusing on developing your artistic voice and making sure you have the resources you need to tell stories that you want to tell. For example, we had this class where we have to learn the different programs used to animate, and we also have perspective class where we literally had to draw like the vanishing points and then like rulers and stuff. That was I actually learned a lot from that class, even though a lot of people don't like that class in my year. But yeah, I feel like that's also a good thing about my art school, is that it really allows you to develop your artistic voice. And I feel like after going into first year CalArts, I know what I want to do more as an artist and what I want to use my abilities for in the future. So that is fun. But don't be stressed if you're going into an art school and you don't know and not have it figured out yet, because that was literally me, okay? And it's okay to not have it figured out. I know a lot of people look like they have their things figured out, but I can tell you a lot of the time, it's just a mask, bro. It's just on the outside. They're probably panicking on the inside. They're just looking like they know what they're doing. So just embrace it, because everyone probably don't know what they're doing. But it's okay. We can all know what to... We can all know what we're... We can all not know what we're doing together. Yes, I can speak English. 我的英文很好。我的英文很好，多谢。So yeah, that's why I picked growth as my first word of describing my first year at CalArts. That was a lot of firsts in one sentences. So the second word I chose was culture. Yes, so growing up in Asia, in Hong Kong my entire life, going to America really broadened my horizons. It really made me realize how much of a small bubble I was living in before, and it just gave me a lot of insight, and I got to know a lot more people with different backgrounds than me for the very first time, and I just learn a lot more about the world, and I think that's really cool. You know, there's this saying in Chinese called zhang dai ji wa, and it basically means you're the frog in the bottom of the well. Well, that's basically how I felt like I was living before coming to CalArts, and just being in that safe little bubble and growing up with the same people my entire life in high school. And then coming to CalArts, I think I was out of the well and learned a lot of cool and new things from my friends, and not just like their different cultural backgrounds, but also just having experiences that I would never have before, and living in a city that is so different, so different from home. Which is kind of a thing that I had to get used to, and I'm still getting used to. I just grew up in such a big city where everything is so easily accessible and convenient, and everything is so compact. If you've been to Hong Kong, you may have noticed that our buildings are very tall, but then because they're so tall, we have everything compact in this like tiny area, so everything's very super easily accessible. And that was just what I was used to growing up. So now going to America and California especially, where literally things are so far apart and you have to drive everywhere, there's no public transport, or not a very good one. So it was really hard to get used to like these like cultural differences, because I never lived in an environment like that before. And now that I'm back in Hong Kong, I realized that I took a lot of things in Hong Kong for granted, or things that I was so used to that I thought it was the norm, but it is not the norm. Yeah, so a lot of cultural adjusting, but it's fun. And I think that living abroad alone really just makes you appreciate the world, and how different people with such different backgrounds can still come together. And I think that's really cool. And another thing about culture I want to talk about is that it's really surprising, because I'm literally in Los Angeles, the city of angels, and oh my god, like it's people's dream, like, to go to there, and literally the whole animation industry is there. That's where everyone is, and that's where all the famous people and people I've looked up to my whole life are there. Like, I remember going to Lightbox Expo last year, and I've literally met so many of the people that I watched growing up, or still inspire me a lot to this day. And I literally met them in person. Like, that is something that I could have never had here, because like I always go like, oh, those people, they exist, not in my country. No, they're not here, right? But then I physically could see all of them, and so it was just like, wow, like, dang, I'm really here pursuing my dreams in a new country, and that is really cool. So I think that's why I chose culture as my second word. So my third word is bittersweet. So I don't know why I chose this word specifically. Like, this is an emotion and it's different to the other words, but I think I chose this word because there were a lot of times where I felt very alone and scared and not knowing what I was doing, especially like I'm surrounded by such talented people. I felt very lost. Like, I'm telling you guys this because I know, and I'm really grateful that a lot of you guys look up to me as an influence, but I wanted to show you guys that I have weaknesses too as a person, because it's really not that much talked about. Like, everyone's trying to present their best selves out there, and like, I want it to be normal that it's okay to not know what you're doing, and it's okay to fall behind. And that was something that I had trouble accepting as well, because I've grown up like with all like that Asian daughter mentality that I really have to grind and make my parents proud and do things to, I need to like be successful, like I have to be successful, I can't end up as a failure. And I was so scared of failure in general that I would be so harsh on myself for no reason, and which is why I still struggle a lot like relaxing and taking a break, because I still don't really know how to take a break. I spend most of my free times, especially during high school, making YouTube videos. And if I'm not making YouTube videos, I'm studying. Like, that's literally my life back in high school. So I just wanted everyone to know that it's okay to suck. It's okay to suck. It is okay to be bad at things, and that's perfectly fine. Just don't give up. Don't give up. Wow, as we're talking, the sun is setting. So I apologize if the video, like, the brightness is slowly getting less and less. It's because I've been talking for so long. Yeah, so those are the 3 words I would use to describe my whole first year journey at animation school, at art school, at CalArts. And dang. Like, looking back and processing and journaling makes you realize how much you've grown as a person, and it kind of makes you excited for what the future will bring as well. And I kind of want to give up that energy to this positive, wholesome, very happy energy too, because I think everyone should be grateful about their growth instead of always comparing yourself to others. You should always compare yourself to yourself yesterday or the day before, or like a year before in my case. And yeah, so if you're going to art school in the future, good luck, because it'll be challenging, but also fun and exciting at the same time. And I can't wait to see how everyone will grow together. Like, oh my god, I can't talk. Just seeing everyone's growth on Discord, because we just had our 3-year Discord anniversary, right? By the way, you can join here. I'll leave the link in the description. But just seeing everyone's art grow so much over the past few years just makes me so excited to grow with you guys in the future. And I think that's what I want this channel to be about. It's not just me giving art tips to people. It's also just me documenting how to grow. And I just want my community and this little cozy side of the internet to grow together as artists. And that's really what I want for this channel specifically. Of course, I also have a lot of other goals that I'm really excited to just further myself as an artist. But life is tough, but it is tough, but we're also tough. So it's okay, we'll all grow. And yeah, not me getting a little bit emotional by the end of this video. Yeah, that's kind of it. I know the room is super dark now. It looks it's kind of vibey too. Oh, I also wanted to make an announcement for those who are living in Hong Kong. I will be at ACGHK 2023 again this year, so watch out. And if you are not from Hong Kong, watch out for my online store. I am going to release a few new products. It'll not be as big as the launch from last time, but I am still working on stuff, and I'm really excited to show you guys everything I've been working on behind the scenes. So yeah, that is it. Thank you all so much for sticking around, and yay, say bye. Bye bye, see you in the next video. It was really nice catching up with everyone. Okay, bye.